And a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to this Monday night episode of Tea and Talks. We're live as always. My name is Graham, Shut Out Cards, and I'm here with my good friend Jason. Jason, how are we doing this week?
Doing good. Glad to be back. It's been an interesting 2 weeks, and it's always nice to be back checking my cards on a Monday night.
Absolutely. It has been an interesting 2 weeks. Lots of things going on, lots of World Baseball Classic news. Everyone loves the World Baseball Classic now, except when their players get hurt, and then everybody hates the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, it's been kind of fun. It's been a bit of a wild ride. We've enjoyed the ride of the Great Britain team. We took a look on our over our social media channels where we're highlighting some of the GB players through the optics of their baseball cards. So go check out that series if you haven't already. It's basically Harry Ford plus a bunch of guys you ain't never heard of. But yeah, it was fun looking up these guys and looking back at their baseball card history.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we continued on. We've both been super busy, and we've had other things pull our in different directions there. But we'll absolutely get up the rest of those cards there. But yep, it's all about King Harry. He has become an instant classic over here.
That's it. Yeah, there's internet memes now with Sir Harry. It's even Phil. So Phil Hughes released a video today reviewing Bowman's Best 2022 Bowman's Best, which came out just on the 8th there. So almost right after we came off air on the last show on the Wednesday. Bowman's Best came out. Phil Hughes dropped a video today reviewing it, and lo and behold, hit a Harry Ford autograph and played like a little meme video clip of some school kid going, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's King Harry Ford," or whatever. So that was kind of interesting. It was kind of fun to see that included in the video. So yeah, go check out Phil Hughes' video if you want to see what we're talking about.
But, speaking of Harry Ford, did you get his Topps Now card? Did you remember?
Did I get yes, I did. I did get the Topps Now card. So I bought that one, and I got the GB team one as well, celebrating their first win. So those were the only two Topps Now cards from the World Baseball Classic I've picked up thus far, and probably the only two I will. I see. Is it USA made it to the final?
USA won last night, and and
it's Japan and somebody else tonight.
Cuba,
right?
I believe. No, it's not Cuba. Was it? No, USA.
No, Cuba's away. Yeah.
Yes, and their catcher defected immediately after the game.
Yeah, their bullpen catcher, not even their first bullpen catcher. Yeah.
Right, I saw catcher defected, and I assumed it was their starting catcher, so I didn't realize the bullpen catcher.
Yeah, bullpen catcher. There we go. Escapes Cuban headline from the Daily Mail. So take this with a pinch of salt. Cuban catcher, quote, escapes Miami hotel to become first defector from the World Baseball Classic. There you go.
But that used to be pretty usual stuff with the Olympics, stuff like that, knowing that they would get away there. But the first time at the World Baseball Classic, I guess there's a lot to first. GB gets their first win and qualifies for the tournament in 3 years' time, and we have our first Cuban defector from it. So
yeah, it's been a World Baseball Classic at first, that's for sure.
So it's Japan, Mexico, which I believe is tonight.
Mexico.
Yes. There we go. Mexico.
I'll try to Google it, but yeah, I think it is. I think it is tonight. I think it's at some not a too unreasonable time because all these final games are being played in Miami, so at least they're East Coast. But yeah, I think either a 12 or a 1 a.m. start for that one. I think tonight.
11 o'clock because we haven't had.
11, yeah, because we're
only
only 4 hours. That's right. That's right. Until the end of the month. I keep forgetting that.
Yep. So if you are a late night person, this is right in your wheelhouse. You get to watch some good baseball. Mexico has been great. It's been a real interesting thing about Randy Rosarena, who basically pleaded to the president of Mexico to make him a citizen because he is Cuban and had escaped out to Mexico and was there. And put a plea out, said he would play for Mexico and play his hearts out. And apparently he's doing that. So I haven't watched any of Mexico's games, but that's pretty cool backstory on why he is considered a Mexican citizen.
Well, there we go. I had no idea about that either. That's pretty interesting.
The stuff you learn on Twitter. So I got it from the internet. So it could be true.
It's better than getting it from the Daily Mail. I think Twitter's like half a step above the Daily Mail, really. So,
and who knows how long Twitter's gonna be around these days with everything going on with them. So.
Oh, I know, right? Elon knows the way.
But yeah, it was interesting. One thing I really liked with the World Baseball Classic was stuff like Lars Nootbaar and how he qualified to be a Japanese citizen.
Wait a minute, what?
So his father is of Dutch descent and his mother is Japanese. And when the World Baseball Classic was in, must have been in California, I'm guessing LA. Like he served as the team bat boy over there because like whatever connections he had there, and qualifies through his mother's citizenship. And so, because
Wow.
how does Lars Nootbaar qualify with the Japanese team?
That kind of shows how little of it I've watched. I have no idea he was on the Japanese team. That's kind of incredible. Oh, I guess all the news coming out of the Japanese teams about Otani, and he's dominating everybody on the mound and dominating everybody in the batter's box as well. I guess all the cool stuff he was doing with the Czech team, and after getting struck out on basically one of your pitches, right? Like a 49 mile an hour heater.
Twice as fast as my stuff.
So I saw that stuff with the Czech team, which was kind of cool. But, I had no idea that Nootbaar was playing with the Japanese team. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then he hooked up Team Italy to go to one of his favorite restaurants out that way, and so there was pictures of Matt Festa, who plays for the Mariners, and if you are a Mariners geek, you'll know he's someone in the bullpen. Otherwise, you've never heard of this guy, and he hooked up Team Italy to his favorite restaurant, I think in LA, or maybe it was in Japan. Yeah, they were in Japan. He sent him off to there, and so it was kind of a cool picture to see the chef out there with a bunch of the players on the team.
Nice. Yeah, the only thing I know about the Italy World Baseball Classic team was that they had an espresso machine in the dugout. That's the only thing that I saw. the only thing I learned about the Italian baseball team. Since Mike Piazza stopped playing for them, I don't care anymore.
He's the manager now.
Is he? Oh, there you go. I should be caring more then.
But it's been fun. Like I said, I've really actually enjoyed the World Baseball Classic. It's definitely, I don't know if it's living over here and having that new perspective, Team GB doing well. The players really seem to be enjoying it. Like they are really digging it. And I guess there's no pressure. So if you win or lose, it's not like a 162 game schedule where you're kind of required to play through injuries and everything else. Everyone's having a lot of fun playing it. So who knows? Maybe it'll become a thing that happens every 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the players getting hurt, it seems to be going over quite well. I saw a pretty interesting thing. So obviously, the USA had to quit the adventure last night. Trey Turner hitting a fairly massive home run to help the USA cause towards the end of the game. So there was a comparison done. I saw this on a social media post. I wish I'd bookmarked it now, but I think Bryce Harper hit a home run to get the Phillies into the postseason at the end of last year, and so far on Twitter, the videos had like 2.2 million views. It was shared by Fox. I think it was Fox Sports or Baseball on Fox Twitter account or something like that. But the same account shared Trey Turner's Grand Slam from last night, and it's had 4.5 million views already. So they're using this as fodder to say, well, look how popular World Baseball Classic is. Like in the space of hours, this video had double the amount of views that a video from 5 months ago from the regular seasons had. But there still seems to be a lot of detractors for the tournament, but they only seem to get the airplay when a player comes up hurt, which happens. But and it's always unfortunate when it happens. But to sit and say it's the World Baseball Classic's fault, it's like what you try to say that nobody ever gets hurt in spring training because like Gavin Lux had barely taken the field before he mixed his knee and he was done for the season. That was like, I think in the first spring training game of the year. So it seems a little bit.
I'm with you on that. Like I said, like injuries are going to happen. I mean, it was a freak accident. I didn't see how Edward Diaz actually hurt himself. I just know it was a celebration. Excuse me. It was a celebration. So you know what? Reminds you of Kendry Morales hitting a walk-off grand slam and then blowing his knee out. And they had to carry him to home plate. So
yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate, and these things happen. But yeah, they can happen anytime. It's like they can happen. We've seen players get injured during celebrations and. Like the dog days of August, where people are just trying to get through. And we've seen people get hurt. Now with the World Baseball Classic, people get messed up in spring training. Like it's just it happens. People get hurt. So yeah, a little bit of perspective is required.
But it's made for some really cool Topps Now cards. I've dug them. I've not, other than the King Harry, that's the only one I bought. But it's been interesting to see out. People are really enjoying it, and it's nice to see kind of a bit more baseball during the rest of the year, and you can kind of see where the American fans are a little bit laissez-faire about it. But you're definitely seeing a lot of interest from other countries and rooting them on there, which I can totally understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we did see cards. So we speculated, I think, in episode 1 of this season, where we're going to see World Baseball Classic cards. And we did. We got a Topps online release, which came out on the 10th, which was the World Baseball Classic Stars. I think it was called something similar. And it's highlighting star players from each or most of the teams, probably. I don't suppose Cuba will have cards. There'll be some kind of embargo nonsense going on there, but so highlighting some of the stars from the teams that were in the World Baseball Classic. The only GB player who made the cut, I suppose, was Harry Ford, but he has got autographs in the set. So like I said, it was a limited time release on Topps.com, the US site. I managed to snag a few boxes. I picked up 10 boxes, so they're due to be printed in about 6 or 7 weeks' time, I think. So looking forward to getting my hands on those, and we'll see if we can get that Sir Harry autograph.
I mean, it'll be a fun card to have. Like, it'd be one of those things. I don't even know what his autograph's going for these days, but it would be fun to have a World Baseball Classic one to have. Just something fun. Yeah, sometimes the hobby's got to be fun. It's not about chasing the 101s and the refractors and all that. It's just kind of nice to have a cool card for a cool point of time.
Yeah, how dare you talk about fun? This hobby is all about the sale, man. It's all about maximizing your value. Come on,
I'm gonna flip it. That's all I want to do is flip the sucker.
That's all I want. Yeah. Well, see, it was be interesting to see between us if we get a parallel on the top, on any of the Topps Now cards as well. That would be kind of fun.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna look up print run while you're chatting away. So
yeah,
I didn't pay attention to that. I'm guessing somewhere around 5,000, but you never know.
Yeah, so we've seen World Baseball Classic cards come out. They came out on the 10th. Oops, since we were last on air, we've had another couple of releases as well, which I'll talk about while Jason does his Google thing. So I mentioned briefly Bowman's Best came out. Like I say, Phil Hughes has done a review video. It's up on YouTube today. It came out on the 8th. Currently, boxes still available on Topps.com. On Topps UK. Retailing at £300. You can sign up with a new email address, get 10% off on Topps.com. No, we're not sponsored. It just often ends up being the most economical way to get our hands on cards. So it's like down to $270 if you use your 10% discount on Topps UK. So 2 master boxes. 2 mini boxes in 1 master box. You get a total of 4 autographs. Prospect autos, of course, because it's Bowman. Harry Ford does, of course, have autographs in there. So it's quite a reasonably deep autograph checklist. So, your odds perhaps aren't the greatest in getting hold of them, but worth a shot in there. Going slightly off topic. If you've got the baseball numbers to hand, you can give me them now because I'm going to go off topic.
All right. You want to take a guess on what the print run is for the Prince Harry?
You reckon 5,000. Well, I bought 10. How many did you buy?
I bought 10.
You bought 10, right? So we're at least 20. 3,212.
Half. 1,448.
Damn, that's pretty low.
That's pretty low. And for your Team GB card, which I could believe, 348.
There's only 348.
Yep.
For the Topps Now card celebrating Team GB's first win.
Yep.
That's smelling resale.
Just remember your buddy Jason down here.
My God, I own like 3% of the total cards produced. That's crazy. Yeah. Not quite. Yeah. Terrible maths.
But 10% would be 30. So you're looking at like 4% there somewhere.
Well, damn, I was pretty close. Yeah, that's wild.
So
348.
I couldn't believe the numbers. I was looking at the totals beforehand and going, there's like 4 and 5 and 6. There was a couple of 8,000s for that there. I mean, okay, it's Ohtani and whatnot there. So I was like, okay, well, people will buy these because they like the Topps Now. And those numbers blew me away. Like 348 for Team GB. I'd guess 70% is that people are Topps collectors over here. I mean,
Yeah,
Why?
I mean,
Why else you buying it? Unless
so
his twins Jake buy them all.
oh my god, that guy. Oh, actually, I'll need to try and, I saw a social media thing he was involved in. I'll need to try and remember what it was. It was a card that he got dual autograph. It was an Otani Trout dual auto numbered out of 10, a Tops Now card, and Otani's auto on it wasn't very good. Like it was like the pen was running out or something. So he tried to return it to Tops for a replacement, and Tops told him to get Ben. He wasn't getting a replacement. I believe they offered to refund him the cost of the card, but they weren't going to replace the card. I mean, that card's still worth something, even though Otani's pen was running out. The autograph's still reasonably clean. It would probably grade an 8, I would say. But yeah, good old Twins Jake. That's kind of wild. I've not heard that name for a while.
Yeah, he's kind of made it out. He kind of jumped in the whole thing about the collectibles guru guy who wasn't tagging people in posts, so you know you couldn't credit whose card it was.
Yeah, of course.
So he had chimed in that discussions as well too. So, like I said, it's a small community out there. We all know each other, so you know if you shit on some person, we all know about it.
That's it. Yeah. The shade travels pretty fast. I guess something Topps could learn from this is they need to promote the baseball stuff better on Topps UK. I bet if that card was also available on Topps UK and not just on Topps.com, that card I think probably would have sold more. Because I guarantee now that when we get hands on them, they will start appearing in the UK baseball groups, not just the baseball card groups, but the baseball fan groups. Go get your card commemorating GB's first ever win. I'll do it. Like I'm shameless. I don't need 10 of them. Like I'll keep one of them. So
that's kind of what I thought.
That's wild.
Wild. I mean, I don't actually have an address to send them to right now, so they got shipped directly to me when they do ship out. So looking forward to have that. But yeah, I'll hopefully.
You'll have yours before me, that's for sure.
Yeah, so then they don't have an address.
That market.
I do, yes. What are you going to sell them for? We'll set the market price.
Well, yeah. We control the market. We own 6% of all the cards. I mean, come on. All right, to quickly move on from baseball, I want to talk about a different Topps product. So one of my standout Topps products from last year was the Topps SPFL set, which is the Scottish Professional Football League. Being a proud Scottish Professional Football League fan. So the 2022-23 version came out this year, and I think it was my sleeper product from last year. It was really great. It had tartan parallels, which on the face of it sound incredibly twee and a bit cheesy. And I thought they'd be pretty twee and cheesy as well until I actually started opening some of them, and they were really, really cool. Proper awesome looking cards. So 2022-2023 Topps Chrome came out on the 17th, and they've changed it because of course they did. They had a really nice product. You got plenty of cards in the box. You were guaranteed an autograph. You were guaranteed a few tartan parallels. And it was £70 a box direct last year, which is a pretty fantastic price. And you could buy one box. You could buy 10 boxes. They had stock for ages. I think they might even still have stock now of last year's. So 2023 came out on the 17th, which was Friday. So they've messed with the box. So there's now 2 autographs in the box, which on the face of it doesn't sound too bad. And they've put a few more extra tartan parallels in as well. Slightly reduced the overall card count in the box, and the boxes are now £90. And you were limited to a maximum of 3. You could only buy 3 of them direct, and they're sold out. So what was a really cool collectible set. I put together the base set last year. I've still got some of the parallels that look really good. I saw it come out on Friday and was like, I don't really. Okay, it's fine that they've given us 2 autographs now, but I don't really like the fact that it's gone up to £90. I was like, oh, I'll sleep on it. I'll think about it. And of course, I've been away all weekend. I was away at a family event. Came back up the road tonight and was like, oh yeah, SPFL Chrome. It came out this week when I was researching what's come out in the 2 weeks since we were last on air, and I went on Topps and I thought, oh yeah, I'll go grab a couple of boxes, and yeah, it's sold out. Here we go again with Topps, and they're getting their one case of product. But so I went looking around and find, well, somebody must have it. Like, where can I buy it from then? So none of the US retailers have it listed. That's perhaps not surprising because it's like Scottish professional football.
It's pretty niche, like, a baseball card podcast in the UK.
Yeah, imagine that. Well, you'd be a fool to do that. But even like the UK resellers, they don't seem to have any either. There's the odd box available already on eBay for £120, based off your £90 cost price from Tots, or 81 if you're buying sensibly and you get your 10% discount, which isn't horrific by the time you take off your 13% eBay fees and you pay for some postage. That's not, it's not taking the piss at £120 anyway. So yeah, I don't know where all of that's gone. So the print run on this product is going to be about 500 or something. It's going to be tiny. It's going to be one of the most limited sets you can get. And there you go. It's Scottish professional football. So if you do see any 2022-23 Topps Chrome SPFL in the wild, yeah, let us know how you get on. I know of one other baseball collector who would have been interested in it, and I dropped him a quick message just before the start of the show, and he didn't get any either. Was put off by the change to the box, as I was, and the change in price. But I wasn't expecting, considering you can get last year's release no problem even now. I wasn't expecting it to be so limited that it would sell out in less than 3 days.
No,
and it's Scottish football. There's like 5 of us who give a shit.
Yeah, so this is taking me a tangent, but I'll bring it back. There's some podcasts I listen to, and they do their updates on the Scottish Power League here in Edinburgh. So it's like,
wow, okay.
Yeah, I could have randomly chose some football league and realized there was an amateur power league. This is like after the 5 o'clock crowd playing kind of thing there, and they're like, oh yes, Craig Johnson scored 7 goals in the 12-10 win in the 5-a-side power league, and it's brilliant. I was like, wow, because I was like, what? They do this? But getting back to the point is, do you think because it didn't sell out, they made it so limited that it would become an in-demand product because it was accessible? You had a chance to buy it all the time, year-round, still have some. And by going, okay, if we have it, and all of a sudden we've created artificial demand for it.
Well, I mean, potentially, but I don't think Scottish football product is the one to do that with. It's really strange. Like if you do it with baseball, that's fine, because it's a niche product and a niche sport here in the UK. Hopefully that'll change, with the exploits we've seen in the World Baseball Classic recently. But it's still a niche. And if you look right now at the hobby section on Topps UK, there's, I think, maybe 15 total products available, and I think 9 of those are baseball. So baseball stuff isn't selling as hard as maybe they would like. There is still a lot of baseball stuff available direct on Topps. But the thing about making we often say, Topps and their one case of baseball product. But at least if it runs out, we know there's a ready supply from sellers in the US that we can ship from. And yes, it's going to take longer. Yes, it's going to cost a bit more. And yes, it's a pain in the arse. But at least you can get it. But where else are you buying Topps Chrome SPFL? You're just not getting that anywhere else. Like Topps UK should be the only outlet for that. There's no soccer hobby shops who are going to be buying it by the case and putting it on the shelf. So yeah, so we can laugh about there being one case of baseball product because we know there's thousands of cases available in the States. But if they had literally one case of it in the UK, that's literally one case of product then, because nobody else is buying Scottish Professional Football League cards. There's not a global market for it
that we know of. Like I said, maybe there's some guy in Brazil that really likes Scottish football.
I mean, maybe there is. Maybe there is. But
he's a multi-millionaire and doesn't know that. But yeah, that's an odd one. But we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if we can get update in 2 weeks and see if anything pops up other than what's on eBay right now.
Yeah.
And so even the Topps groups that we are in, you usually see the odd, the weird, and the wonderful in there. The F1 cards pop up there when they come out, and people give you a heads up on it. But yeah, no, I can't say anything about Scottish Premier League.
No. I mean, F1 cards went bonkers like 2-3 years ago, but yeah, it's really strange. But anyway, I was quite disappointed. Like I say, it was one of my favorite sort of products from last year. It was a bit of I don't think anybody was expecting much from it. It had a real strong following, and now they seem to have kind of tugged away at that following, because I would have done a base set again this year if I could have got my hands on like 4 or 5 boxes, but that's not going to happen now.
Well, you never know. They might pop up. One of those things that just don't sell, and people decide just to flip it. But that's a shame. They said, 2 autos. Okay, sure. why not?
It would be a very rare restock from Topps if it suddenly became available again, but you never know. Anyway, well, I'll move on from that. So that's what's come out in the last couple of weeks. Like I say, my disappointment. Between now and our next show, oh, there's your ice cream van again. Between now and our next show in 2 weeks' time, we have another couple of releases coming out. In fact, there's 4 in total. 2 of them are products that this is the last time we're going to see them, according to what was released at the Industry Summit. So coming out of this Wednesday, Bowman Heritage, which is one of the ones that's been put up for the chop, and also Gold Label, that's also been put for the chop. So 2022 variants of these, still not 2023, not getting any 2023 products quite yet. They're coming out this Wednesday. The following Wednesday, we have a Stadium Club Chrome, yet another Chrome product from Topps. I deleted all my notes about my rant I was going to have last week about Topps Chrome. Another Chrome product from Topps. Stadium Club Chrome comes out on the 29th, and also scheduled to be the 29th, but it's not yet confirmed. One of my favorite products, Topps Transcendent. The $20,000 boxes are coming back. So Bowman Transcendent got the chop at the Industry Summit, but Topps Transcendent carries on. I think I didn't write down what year it was when I took my notes. I'm pretty sure it's 2022. It's not 2023 Transcendent. So another 4 products coming out in the next 2 weeks, all 2022 and not 2023.
Gotta get them out before next Thursday. See, that's what
that's true. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting pretty deep in the year to not have any new 2023 products. Usually we've had Inception by this point. No sign of it yet. So yeah, still play, like you said, I think we actually said off air. Yeah, still a lot of catch up with 2022 happening right now. So yeah, no more new 2023 products in the next couple of weeks until we're back on air. But yeah, Bowman Heritage and Gold Label, both of which this should be the final release of those, or certainly not coming in 2023, that's for sure. And also Stadium Club Chrome and Transcendent on the 29th. Hopefully Transcendent on the 29th. So that'll be my one break a year that I like to get into, like my $160 spot or something, which might land me one card if I'm lucky. But we'll see.
Sorry, I got a bit of news that I didn't actually there. So apparently Jarred Kelenic might have been traded.
That's funny. I'm sitting on Twitter looking at news, sports card news, and I saw that Kelenic was a trending topic. I thought, what's this about? And clicked on it, and yeah, the rumors are he may just have been traded, but
no, I think it was. So if you don't know, of the 20 different Twitter accounts that I run. Damn, I'm a social media manager. Didn't even mean to. Hey, David, good to see you. Yeah, I run the Mariner fan account, and I just my phone had about 6 messages from people going trade. So apparently he's pulled a hamstring and waved to everybody as he walked off the field as like that there. So of course he's having a monster spring, and people are like, no, don't trade him. So it might finally be reaching his potential as from the Cano trade. But we never know.
Oh, you got him in the Cano trade. Wow,
we did. Yeah, that was a nice. They got Edwin Diaz and Robinson Cano, and we got Kelenic.
That's a blast from the past.
Yep. So, but he's. I think he's leading the league in home runs since this spring training. So it's always one of those grain of salt things where he goes training.
Remember, half of spring training aren't there because they're playing in the World Baseball Classic. But we'll take it.
Take it as now, yes. So
talking of landmark home runs, we should do our Andrew wearing Phillies gear.
I am.
We should have our Gabriel Rincones check in.
So yes, so in his 4th at bat of spring training, he's seen limited time there. There was a split squad game. Gabriel Rincones, friend of the show. Well, we're gonna say friend of the show.
He is now, whether he likes it or not. Yeah.
Had his first spring training hit, which happened to be a monster home run out to right field. He smashed it out there. So it was good to see him finally get that first hit of the spring training. I mean, he's coming mostly as a defensive replacement and got an at bat here and there. I mean, he's literally only had 4 at bats this spring training. And I actually messaged him and said, "Hey, congratulations! Did my best copy and paste and download videos to put it up on everywhere I could." And I asked him, I said, "Did you get the ball?" He said, "No." It's just like, he's like, it's spring training, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, doesn't really count. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but like, if you don't know the story about Gabriel, his dad played minor league baseball for the Mariners, lasted a season and a half before blowing his arm out, and then went and got back his degree in engineering, and now works in the oil industry up here in Aberdeen. Hence how Gabriel ended up being born in Scotland. So if anyone can appreciate how short a career is, you know what, I would have asked for that ball.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have that one moment to live on and say, like, okay, I hit a home run in a spring training game. Don't care if it was the Blue Jays single A pitcher like that. A home run's a home run.
Exactly. Yeah. It's still a hit in professional baseball, or home run in professional baseball, right? I'd be all over that as well.
So congratulations, Gabriel. From everything I have, I know that it looks like you're probably going to high A ball to start the season. So we don't know for another 10 days, I guess, there. But if you're interested, I will be updating Gabriel with my other podcast, because one podcast is never not enough. But Ballcast and Bag Guides, if you focus on baseball in Scotland here, and my podcaster John will he'll be doing all the stuff about that, and I'm focused on how Gabriel is doing week in, week out, so we can have an update him and follow him, and he's gonna look good in the GB jersey in 3 years' time.
Exactly. That's what we should be looking forward to. So catch Jason, ball caps and bagpipes. So we're on opposite Mondays. So one Monday you'll have Jason and I doing this, and then the next Monday you'll get Jason on ball caps and bagpipes during the UK baseball season. So yeah, keep an ear out for that. It looks like hamstring and perhaps not a trade, but we'll see. I guess.
I will. If you see me looking at my phone, I'm refreshing as quickly as possible.
If I see you crying, then I figured out what's happened, right? Jeez. All right. We should have been talking a lot more about bunt tonight, which is why we're a little bit filler and we're a little bit talking more about actual baseball than anything else. The 2023 Topps Bunt were scheduled to go live tonight at 6 p.m. or perhaps even 5 p.m. because of the time difference. It looks like, despite the fact that the app, the look of the app is updated, it looks like a lot of the stuff hasn't actually come through. So we're filling slightly on the subject of bunt, but we do know some things about what's going on and what's going to be changing.
We do. From what I understand, Big League's coming out.
Oh, I see. Yep. That would make sense, because Big League's actually due in just over, I think, in 3 weeks' time. So 2 weeks on Wednesday. I looked looking at the release schedule before we came on air, and the reason I didn't mention this week is because I should be able to talk about it in 2 weeks' time at the next one.
Yeah. So it's all been super quiet. We don't know for sure, but from what I understand, because there is no longer opening day, it should be Big League is the first set that comes out Friday. So, but very unusual for Topps. They've been pushing cards down our throat the last 3 months.
Yeah, just a little bit. Very unusual for Topps to be late on a release as well.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting enough, I found more and more people who've been playing bunt. Not necessarily quietly, but just don't really speak of it too much there, and they're longtime players there. And I've had a quick word with them and saying, look, I started playing bunt. It has something to do 2 years ago for a show topic. And now I'm hooked. I played every day, and I was kind of asking them. I said, well, how do you feel about how it's gone lately? It seems like there are now 2 releases every week that pretty much require you to buy any kind of diamonds if you want to complete the set, which I don't mind. I've put some money into the app. I've had fun doing it there. Like when Inception come out, I'll put more money in the app there because I enjoy the Inception cards. But they're like, yep, it's been draining. There's not really been any contests. The monthly contests aren't that great. So the cards you get aren't really. They're not that limited. Like I did the 20 home runs one, and there was like 1,200 people that had the same card as super rare. It wasn't that great. It was fun to say I hit one, but it wasn't like Oh yeah, there's only 300 people doing this. Not like the monthly contest where I hit my J-Rod. Yay!
Yeah, I wonder how long it was going to take you to mention your J-Rod card. Yeah.
First person in the game as well too.
That's it. Yeah. So that was the daily check-in one, right? Where you click the daily tokens.
You get the token, ticket. There we go.
Ticket,
so
even.
yeah. So if you haven't completed that, there was 12 tickets that were in the news, so that would probably explain why things were finishing up for the season, and they thought we'd have 2023 cards out now. Now, if you actually look, it's in the game. You can see a couple of the common cards already.
Oh, really? No, I saw others had posted about it in the US based Bunt group, which has just under 3,000 members in it at the moment. But yeah, so the daily contest finished yesterday because if you checked in every day, you got your 50,000 coins yesterday. And we had 2 weeks ago on the show, we had or pretty much had it confirmed that the new version would have been out today. So all the events finished yesterday as well, or at least by 5 p.m. today. Again, we were thinking in anticipation of the 2023 update coming out today or tonight, certainly, but that does not appear to have happened. From other screenshots I've seen placeholders for what appears to be a season pass type event. So depending how much you play the Topps apps, if you have the Topps Disney app, which I have, they've introduced a season pass type event. So basically, whenever you open a mystery box, or if you open packs of cards, or you compete in events and things like that, you gain experience points. And the more you need X amount of experience points to go up a level. Every time you go up a level, you get given a reward. And there's 2 reward paths. There's like a free one, which should be like maybe, do this and get 2,000 coins, or you can pay for the season pass, and the season pass lasts for a predetermined amount of time, and you go on a different reward path, and instead of getting 2,000 coins for completing a level, you might get 10,000 coins plus a pack. So if you pay for the pass, you get a much higher level of reward. So there was I think a couple of collectors have shared screenshots from Bunt with a little coming soon in what, like a placeholder in the banner, which appears to be or that's going to contain the experience tracker for the season pass rewards. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. Like I say, if you play Topps Disney, then you'll already be familiar with that and the concept and how it works. Lots of apps have this season pass model, which tries to get you on like recurring subscription. What's the one that I used to do a few of? Like the sort of match 3 puzzle games, like Candy Crush and stuff like that. They've had this idea for quite some time. Topps Disney was the only Topps one that I've seen it in. Star Wars doesn't have it yet, or else Jason would know about it.
I would know about it.
Yeah. I don't know if the soccer one has Topps Kick, because I got rid of that ages ago. I wasn't a big fan of that one. So I'm currently only rocking Bunt, Star Wars, and Disney. It's quite funny. Disney's become the real kind of outlier and the one where they seem to do all these things first, and then we see these things that have been on or often come out on Topps Disney Collect first, and then they sort of filter their way back into Star Wars, and then filter their way back into Bunt. So we'll see. That could be one thing that's coming, or certainly looks very likely to be coming out when the release does actually push. It might come out overnight tonight, I guess. And maybe we'll have it tomorrow, but we should certainly have it by the next time we're on air.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm guessing with everything being delayed, maybe that's what they're doing. They'll push it out. There'll be an update to the whole app. I mean, the whole thing's been kind of interesting as they were trying to say guess the player, and then the app got moved like 3 days before everything was there. I was like, okay, let me see. That's really easy to tell. That's Pete Alonso because he's on the splash screen now. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like the icons updated, the splash screen, everything's updated, but the actual gameplay itself hasn't. So yeah, that's That's what I think it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? I texted you guys and was like, "Oh, the app's updated." And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's not
Yes.
really." Yeah.
They downloaded a few things there, so who knows what's coming. It sounds like I'll probably be putting some hard-earned money into if the membership thing. If that's the case, there. If the worst case scenario, it makes for a good episode. I'd say, all right,
And
I've now played for a
content,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the content, man.
Right, that's tax deductible, right? We can write that off.
Yeah, we'll write it off as a business expense. That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So,
So I guess a $64,000 question then. What would you like to see change in Bunt 23?
I think you posted it to the group, and a lot of people say,
did.
and I would really like to see, like, if you have to open 10 packs, just open 10 packs. Like, let's just have that button there and get it over and done with there. I'm already doing it. I'd like to see I liked how you could get rid of crafting was faster. Like, but I would like to see that. But even with that, like, I'm not spending a whole lot of time on Bunt anymore. Like, you can literally wait till 6 o'clock on Friday, open your 500,000 coins worth of packs, have the whole set, and then you're done. And then it's just, and then you just wait till next week. It's there's been no kind of contest to kind of keep me going, or I had finished all the sets there, and I wasn't playing with the one that just finished tonight, the 2023 set there. Like, I had George Kirby dreams of collecting that 101 card, and was quickly crushed on that one. And pretty much gave up on that because I didn't even craft any of the cards for that. I was just like, I'm boycotting, I guess, for better words there. But yeah, I guess more contests than the monthly contest of strikeout home run thing. It's really lame.
Yeah, that was a bit meh, to be fair. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I know we both pine after the Topps tribute event, like from 2 years ago. That was
amazing.
That was pretty awesome, that one. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I did post. So I posed this question in the UK group, or the UK EU group that we both that we kind of run, and I got the same kind of. My thing was I'd like to see like a multiple purchase button just to make it quicker. Somebody in the US group, so I posed the same question in the US group and got some pretty good responses as well. I'll bounce some of these off you.
Wow, I didn't see that one. I missed that one.
One retort to my point was, well, that's all very well and good, but you don't want that on releases where there's limited pack numbers, because people, whoever's online first will just click the button to buy like 10 packs and just spam it, and then all of a sudden you run out, like limited packs are gone, and that of course pushes resale up and things like that. That's an excellent point, which I hadn't really considered. I think if it's a release that's not limited, then let us buy 100 packs in one go. If it is a limited release, then yeah, absolutely, like, you don't want that, because people will just get abused, you know what I mean? So all for that, and I didn't really consider that point, but that was a pretty good retort to my suggestion. So I posted it in the US group as well. Just under 3,000 people in the group got some pretty nice responses. The first of which was, here's a good one for you: every release should be limited pack numbers.
No. No.
No, I'm right with you.
I mean, they're not selling out anyways. Like, let's see, we're pulling up there, because I in the newsletter they're always trying to say, hey, make sure you buy this release, and I'm trying to think which one it is right now. The Mega Pack. So the Mega Pack finished back in you could get the award back in January, 16th of January, but because all of the limited ones haven't sold out yet, it's still there.
Yeah, so it's not like 2K diamonds a pack or something ridiculous.
Yes, 2,500 diamonds a pack. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, so if you were looking to buy, well, they have it on sale there, so you could buy 7,500 diamonds for the 30 pounds. I'm not spending 30 pounds. Sorry. Flagship's still there, and that finished in like November. Hold on, December 1st. So there's still Flagship available if you wanted to spend your money on that. And same thing with like the Rookie Chase. There's still cards on there. I mean, that was a month ago. There wasn't even an award there, but there's still the iconic cards that I don't know who's going. Well, yeah, maybe I'll go back and get a few. Finest is still available. you can still even buy packs of Finest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild. I think, like, can you? Yeah, this is the award finished 4 hours ago.
And you can still buy them.
You can still, and they still had, there was 1 million packs, and there's still 100,000 left. So I mean, that's what we're kind of saying, where they came out with so much so fast that things just aren't selling out. And then the worst bit about it is the people that are buying these things are buying Diamond Class, and then 20 minutes after release, you're seeing all these packs for sale, and all the iconics and legendaries for sale. So
yeah, there's some people are putting some serious money into this app, that's for sure. So some other suggestions then. Hopefully don't use the same card for different tiers. So instead of having the same design on the uncommon, rare signature all the way up to legendary, with the only difference being the base color change the picture so it's more enjoyable to collect. And that comment, I thought, was for people who are baseball card collectors like us, like what they do just now fits. It's the same picture. It doesn't matter if you hit the 101 Superfractor, or I mean, technically printing plates are different because it's a mirror image, but you know, it doesn't matter if you hit the 101 or you hit a base card. The image, the photograph on the card is the same. You know, the base card is just white, and then you have your blue and your red and your green and your orange and your whatever, all the way down to your 1 of 1. But it's essentially the same card, just like a different color, or looks different. So quite why they would change that and make it different and bunt, I've no idea, because it doesn't really fit with the idea of it being digital trading card collecting. That's something different.
I mean, you get super short prints. Why not just do those and you hit the rare? You know,
that's true. I mean, I guess if they'd phrased it that way, that might have been better. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. That comment had 3 likes. I think it's like the most liked comment. But somebody else was moaning that you can't find expos. If you search for expos, you have to search for nationals, which is a bit of a niche complaint. Jose Batista, I don't think the ex Toronto Blue Jay, but a different Jose Batista. His comment was, I wouldn't mind forking over more coins for better or more exclusive cards. For example, Panini Dunk has packs with 1 of 1s where you pay a premium in their coins.
Sorry, my connection dropped. So
did we have connection issues again? Yeah. So what another comment was it? We are having problems again.
Yeah, I am at the moment. So there's something going on at the moment, but yes.
Oh God, I hope it's not another ambulance flying past you that's affecting.
No, we'll be okay. So yes, but I just missed that last bit there.
So I wouldn't mind forking over more coins for better, more exclusive cards. For example, Panini Dunk has packs with 1 of 1s where you pay a premium in their in-game currency. So I guess that's a bit like first off the line, having like a first off the line equivalent. So you could buy a base pack for like 5,000 coins, or have a higher chance of hitting a legendary or something for say 10,000 coins. Whereas right now, obviously, if you want to go up that tier, you've got to pay diamonds, not coins.
So you can do that. So sometimes they'll have that out there. We'll have the base tier, and then one that will increase your odds slightly more. And then, of course, you have the diamond pack. So you do see that occasionally.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. The option to burn or trash all of your tier 1 to 5 base duplicates. And then I think somebody had suggested you should be able to trade them for coins, which you can do in Disney. I think you can. Oh God, what's the thing? Workbench. You can workbench your cards for you can workbench your cards for coins. You can get 10,000 coins for workbenching like 5 duplicates or something like that. But you can definitely do that in Disney. So maybe that is something that will come. But then if they're going to have more hoarding events, which we feel like they might have more hoarding events. If anybody's watching the video, I'm getting some fun hand signals from Jason. Then yeah, if they are going to have more hoarding events, then you don't really want to be getting rid of your duplicates. But
no. So one thing I did this year, probably about a third of the way into the season, is I locked every Mariner card. just to see how many Mariner cards I would collect over the season there. So just had a look, and my tier 1, the most I have 66 Marco Gonzalez cards. So I'm not saying that I have 65 Wander Franco cards as well too. But again, like, do I need 65 Wander Franco base 1 cards? No, I don't.
No, not really. No.
No.
That's quite interesting to see how many you collect just through playing the game, though. It's quite interesting, not crafting them out.
Yep. So I'll do the same thing this year. All the Mariner cards, I'll just save them all, and then we'll see what we do there. I mean, it was just one of the things that's like, how many cards would I collect? Because again, you'll see collectors who have hundreds and hundreds of these cards because they put so much money into it that do you need 500 Bryce Harper Series 1 cards? No. What are you really going to do with that?
Yeah, it's very true. Yeah, it's just taking up digital space, isn't it? So some others. I know you do quite a lot of trading, so maybe some of these will strike more with you than they do with me. More filters on sorting in the trade feature, such as if someone trades duplicates for needs, why can't I sort by card count and only see their duplicates and my duplicates? Faster loading when searching for cards for contests, more varied collection score stats. I'd love to see who has the best collection by tier or by team or by player. Also, a season-long contest leaderboard would be quite cool.
Yeah, I guess what we're forgetting is been the off season. So they do have the games that go on every day, the daily games, which I think are rubbish. People play them, but you really have to be a high-end collector because your base cards aren't going to do shit. You really have to have those iconic cards and legendary cards to really, really make a difference in those things. So I don't know. It'd be nice to something to have where you use the base cards so anyone had a shot at winning something there. But yeah, that's a tough one.
Yes, yeah. Funnily enough, the last comments about contests as well. Hoping to see the contest come back, and it'd be good to see an international series set because, of course, we have the return of the London Games this year.
Yes, if you didn't know, it's Cubs and Cardinals, and there's still plenty of tickets available, just like there was 3 years ago.
Arthur, that's interesting. I hadn't looked. Funny, I saw they've got their annual thing out for volunteers, and I was considering volunteering for it.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping all over it there. I think people eventually will buy tickets there, but I think they've also raised the cost there. So I think last time you could get into the nosebleeds for like £40, and I think they're closer to 65 now. So and people got smart. They went, "Yep, I will pay £65 for a nosebleed, and then I will find out on StubHub which seats haven't sold, and just go sitting there because the ushers don't know any different." Yeah. So the usher won't know any difference. So if you just kind of walk on down and know what you're doing, sit down, no one's going to stop you.
Yeah, right on. Right, that's exactly how it's going to go, I think. It'd be interesting, but we'll find out over time, I guess, if those games sell out. I mean, if it's like the International Series games from 2019, is that right? Yep. The Yankees Red Sox, presumably we'll see some kind of card release for that, whether it's through Topps Now or they do a thing similar to the World Baseball Classic sets. There you go. Look at you.
I know.
As if on. It was almost like we planned that.
For those 12 people watching live, yes,
exactly. Yeah. Jason flashing his packs there. I have a set. I've got the Topps. I think I've got the Topps on Demand set buried away, squirreled away somewhere. I'll need to try and find that one day.
You know what? I've looked into buying that because, and it's not cheap. People are asking £40 or £50 for it.
It's because I had autographs in it. It was like I think it was 1 in 3 on the on-demand set had an autograph in it. I remember opening a couple because I bought more than one. I think I kept one for myself. We might have done a break of one, or maybe I sold it. I can't remember, but I remember opening at least one of them, and I think I hit a Mookie Betts autograph or something. I can't remember. I have that in the back of my head, certainly. But yeah, it was a pretty fun set. I imagine we'll see something, whether or not we get it in. I mean, we'll get it in Bunt through Topps Now, I would imagine, assuming that Topps Now is going to carry on in Bunt as it did last year. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. So.
Yeah, Topps Now is fun. I kind of enjoyed it. I chased every Mariner card that came out. So, but yeah, again, J-Rod, you're killing the hobby. People don't want to trade you. Can I pine for the days of Kyle Lewis and Evan White?
See, it's nothing but salty Mariners collectors and salty Baltimore Orioles collectors these days because they can't afford their teams and team breaks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. I had a conversation with a Mariner collector who I've chatted to before through the Mariner thing and through a mutual friend there, and he says Mariners breaks have gotten so expensive he can't afford them anymore.
Wow. Okay.
So anything with a J-Rod autograph, like obviously increases the price there, and everyone wants it there. So it is a reminder of Griffey. That's all it does. It's our superstar. We have to share with everybody. I'll take my Jay Buhner and Edgar Martinez because no one wants them.
Did you, on the subject of Griffey, did you see the rather cool footage of him taking? So Griffey's now he's a hitting coach with Team USA, and he was taking some cuts in batting practice before one of the games, and like basically the entire squad was like around the batting cage watching the kid take some cuts. It was pretty cool,
and still putting them out.
And still putting them out, yeah. Still that same lazy swing, and he was just hitting lasers around the place.
Effortlessly, yeah. So not bad for a 50-year-old guy who easily still put it out, no problem. I mean, you had, it's one of those things. Those guys all grew up watching Griffey, so to actually be able to sit there and just watch him. I mean, you can see like Mike Trout was excited. One of the best players in baseball was excited to see Ken Griffey Jr. take batting practice.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the everlasting legacy of the. I'm catching up on the Kelenic news, but I think
it's all rubbish. I keep.
I just saw it again and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's all speculation. So
I think it's all horseshit. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, never mind Kelenic news. All right, so hopefully lots more to talk about in Bunt the next couple of weeks. Let's see if any of these predictions from either from us or from the community come true over the next 2 weeks. But we'll move along from that onto Topps one. What's it called?
Project 100.
Project 100.
It's one of those things. And what I hadn't realized is this is their whole season. These are the last set of cards they're doing.
Is it? So they're dropping a season short then?
No, that's been a whole summer. Like
it's
these
been
are
the
cards,
whole thing. Oh, okay.
These are cards 76 to 100. So I hadn't realized that until I did the research because I was like, oh, surely there's still a summer set to come. Nope, it's the spring set. It's come out, and it was an interesting kind of set there. So Project 100 cards 76 to 100. The first set, and I guess the artists is the return of Mr. Cartoon. So he's still doing his tattoo art thing there, and he dropped a J-Rod card to start out, which is pretty cool. So I haven't looked at all to see if anything's sold out or not. But ever since they said you had to buy the foil card and like that, it ruined the fun of just kind of buying a 5-pack and praying for the best.
Or so they took away that chase element, didn't they, by bundling the foils this time?
Yep. So it's still not there. I think, I don't know. I don't know who runs it. It's like baseball. Topps hates baseball card collectors. So it's like Rob Menefront hates baseball. So let's make it really difficult for people to get what they want.
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that. So I can tell you the deluxe edition of J-Rob by Mr. Cartoon is sold out.
I imagine that would. I mean, it's Mr. Cartoon. You're still getting more and more people finding more about it. He does Modelo beer commercials back in the States. So he's got a big presence. Everyone kind of knows him, the tattoo artist. So I imagine the J-Rod, being that it was J-Rod, sold out pretty much immediately.
Yeah. The signed artist proof edition is also sold out. It looks like all of everything above base, it looks like, is sold out from this latest release. So the only thing left available is the standalone, but you can still get the 5 sets. But it's just the singles that are left. All the limited ones are gone for this last drop. Yep,
I imagine those will all sell out. No big deal. They'll end up on the market a year later for half the price. As people do that.
So I'm just noticing one of the artists is Lewis Wes. Is that a Lewis?
Yeah, I was talking about Lewis Wes. Yeah, so he's
a poor man's Ermsey.
No, Fuki.
His style is very Ermsey, in my opinion.
Yeah, so Lewis Wes. He's an illustrated. He's a huge Philly fan, and I can see why you can get that. So it's very colorful. It's got that 60s and 70s kind of California dreaming vibe to it. But if you look, there's no eyes. If you look on his stuff,
Is
there's
that is this his thing? Is that okay?
so no, he does eyes and some of the stuff there, but it was kind of the first thing I thought was it was Fuki and the no eye things. But I can see when you say Ermsey, you kind of have that kind of vibe to it there. But he's a huge Phillies fan. Like, well, obviously when they interviewed him, he put up his Bryce Harper jersey in the background and stuff like that there. But it was from New Jersey. It said he's a big Phillies fan, so I imagine we'll probably see at least one Phillies card. I imagine we'll definitely see a Bryce Harper from him. He said he was a big fan of Bryce Harper, but you know, you never know. He likes his 70s Phillies, so I imagine we'll see a Mike Schmidt or Steve Carlton.
That'd be pretty sweet. Gunnar Henderson's his first one, so Gunnar Henderson, rookie for Baltimore Orioles.
They're really pumping Gunnar Henderson, like they're really trying to push him as the next big thing. So
yeah. He's half the reason that the Orioles team spots and breaks are so expensive.
Well, yeah, that Jackson Holiday and then Adley Rushman. So take your pick. You know,
pick your poison. Yeah,
exactly. You know, nobody was really caring for the Ryan Mountcastle cards, so the Cedric Mullins.
Good old Cedric Mullins. Yeah.
So, yep. And then the next guy up was Luke Westman. Now, this one I don't understand. You have one tattoo artist already established in Mr. Cartoon. Luke Westman is another tattoo artist. So you have pretty much the same style of card. So he does the Mike Trout, and it just doesn't make any sense to kind of have two artists that do the same thing in the same set. Now, whether that was they couldn't get somebody in time or whatnot, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Mr. Cartoon, so like Luke Westman's cards don't really appeal to me. So you're looking at there and kind of going, yeah, okay. And it looks like a knockoff Mr. Cartoon.
I think I've mentioned many times that I am no way artistically inclined, but yeah, Luke Westman, I guess you would say a very traditional tattoo style. So whereas Mr. Cartoon's is perhaps slightly more contemporary, but yeah, actually look at the Mike Trout one. It's pretty cool. I quite like it with the flowers and I guess what you would call traditional tattoo script underneath it. It's quite a cool looking card actually, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how their styles can be compared, I guess, across this final release, because they'll have got 5 cards each.
Five cards. So I'd be curious if you put those up to somebody and said, guess which is which, and see if they can tell the difference. So
the Mr. Cartoon one says Mr. Cartoon in the front.
So. We'll put our thumb over that bit of it there. All right, guess which one it is there. So yeah, so I wasn't, but you never know. Some artists absolutely blow you away. I mean, no one knew who Ermsey was, and he became an instant classic with the release of his cards. So,
friend of the show, Lauren Taylor, come on.
Yep, that was she's busy hanging with Shaq these days. So
I don't think she's going to be gracing our humble podcast anymore.
Yes,
you never know.
It's that meme. Nice try, lose my number.
yeah.
The next artist I was to bring up was Gianni Lee. Now he's a visual artist from Philly, and he did the Michael Harris III card, and he's a different cat. Now he's into his futuristic styles. He wanted to bring all his aspects of culture that he's into his cards. So he's like Afrofuturism, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it is. Robots, video games, comic books, and sci-fi. So he's got a real interesting take on what's going on with there, and you can see it with his Michael Harris card. So yeah. I'm really curious to see what he produces.
It's funny you mentioned eyeballs, because it's nothing but eyeballs on this Michael Harris card.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I think it's going to be one of those. It's going to be a Marmite card. You think it's the greatest thing ever. You're like, it's just not for me. So I'm kind of curious to see if he dips into more Black culture, being that he's an African American artist, and he's going to have that. I mean, you can see that with the Michael Harris card there. So that could influence the set there, or do you go into the sci-fi robot comic book thing and do some wacky stuff with that?
It's certainly got an interesting look. It'd be good to see again. Let's see what 5 of them look like. or see what is, we'll get a better feel for the overall style, I suppose, by the time we have 5 of the cards to phrase it slightly better than I did already.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. He's I'm curious to see what he produces. Whether I would buy it or not, I don't know. Like with Lewis West, I would buy his cards. I think his cards are fun. They're colorful. They're like that. Whereas with Gianni, I'm more like, oh, that's interesting. All right, yeah, that's what's more of a thought provoking kind of conversational starter card than kind of like I would put this on my wall because it's cool.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But then it'll be one of these things we're going to get to the end of it and think, oh, actually, all those cars look really cool. I'll have to go buy 4 of them from eBay
at inflated prices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then the last artist was just Mike Wilcox, and he is an Art Deco designer. So he really kind of works with all the Art Deco style cards there. So his first card was Babe Ruth. So I imagine we're probably going to see a lot of the older players in his set and set to an Art Deco background. So I got a feeling we'll see a lot of Yankees. And yeah, because kind of how Empire State Building kind of feels to it all there. But Mike didn't really promote his stuff that much, so I don't know how interested he is in the project.
Oh no, it better not be another Action Bronson.
No, it could be. There's a fair of people who's kind of like, all right, well, here's 5 prints, and here you go. So at least Action Bronson was showing the videos he's been working out. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite. It's a pretty decent looking card. I'm as much of a fan of the Art Deco style as the next guy is, I suppose, but you could be very unkind to look at it and go, well, it's just like a very famous Babe Ruth pose that's been put on like what looks like a stock image of an Art Deco background. It would be very easy to say that this card was low effort if you wanted to be unkind. I quite like it. I think if it's 5 of them in the same style, they will look good if they're displayed together.
Yes. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not saying that he was the only artist that didn't do an interview, didn't push his cards other than like, hey, so there's my cards there. So it was like an afterthought for him. It kind of felt like that way when instead of kind of promoting himself there, you would look at Project 20, Project 70, even the other Project 100 cards and said, who did well? It's because they engaged with the audience. Like Lewis has already been on Reddit. You already see him in the groups and Facebook. He's putting himself out there. We'd messaged him, or I messaged him, and he got back to us right away. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, I guess I have more love for the artists to actually take the time to say, like, "Hey, cool, thanks for liking my art." Even,
Yeah, it's nice to know that they give a shit about the community as well, and that they're willing to engage with the people who are potentially going to collect their art. I mean, I guess it's maybe not quite so driven by sales as it was with Project 70. Obviously, we kind of touched on that. We spoke about it a few times, I guess, with the artist cut, and that obviously depended on how many cards sold and what the overall print runs were. Obviously, with Project 100, it's a maximum of 4,000. So we have to imagine there's not quite the same impetus to drive sales from that regard. But yeah, it's still nice to see people who want to engage with the community because, like you say, these things lead to bigger and better things for the artists if they promote themselves properly. We've obviously seen the meteoric rise that happened with Lauren and her story, and the things that she's been able to do, not just from a business perspective with her art, but also raising awareness around her battles with mental illness and the work she's put in there, and obviously shining a light on that, especially through the medium of sport and how art can be therapeutic for all that kind of stuff. So it's not just about pushing a sale at the end of the day. It's about engaging with people who might go on to help you do bigger and better things, and might go and buy some other art direct from you as well. So good on them. I like the guys who get involved and want to engage with the community. It shows that that they care about the project. They're not just doing an Action Bronson.
Well, I mean, you saw that with F. Dot. People bought his stuff and his prints there. Ermsey still sells all his stuff there. He's always come out with new prints there. I'm always curious to see what's next from him.
Garbage Pail Kids and Pardee just did Garbage Pail Kids as well. So still engaged with Tops and still working with Tops and still engaging with the community as well. Not just. I mean, it was, I guess, a sort of crossover baseball garbage pail kid set that Pardee did, but still engaging with the community and selling garbage pail kids and not just straight up baseball players is not to be sniffed at.
No, absolutely. Like I said, that's more money for them. Pardee absolutely loved the garbage pail kids set, so why not? It opened up another avenue for him because he was a popular artist, and as a kid did the garbage pail kids cards.
Yeah, and there you go. And I guess through his engagement and through growing, like you say, probably got that opportunity off the back of it to, like you said, to carry on working with Topps. So.
Yeah. But that's it. So yes, we'll have 5 weeks of Project 100, and then it's over, and then we'll have Project. Who knows?
We'll save that question for a couple of shows time. So, I guess not next show, but the show after, we'll be at the conclusion of Project 100. So we can have that discussion then about will this carry on? Will this model carry forward? We might have an answer to that question by that point. Who knows? 5 weeks is a long time in Topps world. We're still waiting on the world's biggest collecting announcement in a generation, which they trailed at the industry summit. No sign of that announcement yet. And we're almost at the end of the month. And in fact, by the time we have our next show, we'll be into April. So hopefully the next show we'll know what the biggest trading and biggest collectors announcement in a generation that they trailed at the industry summit is going to be, because there's still no sign of
it. Who knows? We all can speculate. I'm guessing they're going to open some sort of like vault in the mountains to hold stuff.
Yeah, the eBay model.
Yeah, exactly. Or they're going to have the first like moon cards, the moon base up that way.
Base,
it's
listen. Let's not put anything past Fanatics, because they're saying they're going to do everything that everybody else is doing, but they're going to do it better. So. It could be a marketplace. It could be an auction site. They could be taking on the likes of Golden, the likes of Heritage Auctions. Who knows? They could. There's 100 different ways it could go. I like to keep an eye on the job openings that Fanatics have for two reasons. One, I think it'd be fun to work for them, and secondly, you can get an idea on, especially if you look at like the trading, the Fanatics collectibles specifically, look at the jobs that they're hiring for. I think it gives you a good indication of the kind of stuff that might be coming. So there's a little insider tip if you ever wanted to find out what's going on. Go look at the job ads. They're recruiting for designers at the moment. If you happen to be a graphic designer and you want to get involved in baseball card design, go check out fanatics.com/careers.
Sports cards. Sports cards have all the licenses now, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so go do some work for Fanatics if you fancy it.
Go do some wrestling cards. So.
Yes, wrestling. Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, we'll hopefully have answers to all of these questions and more when we're back for our next show in 2 weeks' time. If I can quickly check the date, because it rolls over in a new month. So Monday, the 3rd of April, will be our next show. Yes. This show, of course, will be available as a podcast next Monday, the 27th at 9 p.m. UK. And we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, most likely to speak about Bunt at some length. But yeah, we'll let's see if it's actually updated in 2 weeks' time. I'm sure it will have.
Yes, yeah, I'll be broadcasting from Sweden. You won't have the lovely background there. So
you'll be in Sweden. Wow.
No.
But yeah, let's wait for that. But until that happens, once again, thanks again for those of you who joined us on live. Always good to have you with us. This will be out as a podcast. Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We're now on Amazon.
Ooh,
thanks, Daddy Bezos. Next Monday, even the 27th, this will be out as a podcast. But so until the 3rd of April, Jason, thanks very much.
Brilliant. Always fun. Always good to catch up. And thanks for everyone that tuned in tonight. It's always nice to see your comments.
Oh, yeah. As Laura saying, great night as always. Wow. Laura, your standards are low. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. The other question is, Laura, when are you going to come on and talk about your D-back collection?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a fantastic point. Yeah. Lurking in those comments all night. All right, awesome. Thanks again, Jason, and take care, everybody. And we'll be back on Monday, the 3rd of April. Until then, take care. We'll speak to you soon.
All right, guys.